Hello and welcome back to VenturePoint. It's been a little bit. My phone said, 2 months from scheduling conflicts and stuff, but we are back just before Christmas to try and finally get started on this next step of Xenophilius's quest, as it were. Although it's apparently invaded by cats. Alright, everyone good to go?
Yeah. It sounds very, very, very in character.
It does.
Yeah.
It's fine. The cat invasion could be for Wildstorm, who is not with us today.
Yeah.
Alright, so to recap. Having had a very blurry night, Xenophilius had a spook as he awoke in Wildstorm's room and raced outside in shock. Kaelin, hearing the commotion, decided to sneak around to avoid Xenophilius' notice in order to find out more about him. However, this fell a little short when it turned out Xenophilius was simply heading to a hat shop, and she soon rejoined the group when they returned to look for her at the Seer's Truth. On the topic of hats and clothes, though, the party decided to use this downtime they had to organise some fancier clothing for the Fey Ball they were going to be attending in a couple days' time. Wildstorm opted to splash out on a fine suit crafted in nice materials, while Kaelin opted for an even pricier alternative, an enchanted set of clothes that would disguise her usual gear under an illusory lavender dress. Xenophilius, conversely, decided on a slightly cheaper alternative, making an antlered hat out of a tin bucket and a couple of sticks. With varying degrees of finery in place, The party met again with the envoy Elamirka, and all made that familiar trip through the forest into the Feywild proper. This time, however, they came out on the banks of a large placid lake and were directed to board a small boat moored nearby. Following instruction, the boat carried the party, without their guide, across the lake to a grand water-bound city aglow with multicoloured light. As the boat came round to a more secluded and forested area, it moored at the base of a long gravel drive leading to a mansion at the top of a hill. As they alighted, they saw various kinds of Fey creatures, dryads, pixies, you name it, making their way towards the elaborate gates at the other end of the drive, and began to make their way in that direction themselves. So, we come back to you all, in medias res, walking up the drive, seeing all of these creatures, the grand dryads that appeared from the forest, including the bright maple orange one that seemed to be leading the group. The water nymphs following on from the strange black-eyed lady that stared curiously at Xenophilius before making her way off. And the pixies that shot past through the air, straight up the drive, who, as you approach the gates, you can see sort of impatiently a couple of them rattling on the metal bars. To either side of the gate stands a large silver armoured knight, essentially, looking creature. Standing about 8 foot tall. That is just stood on guard either side. An additional note, in case because I don't remember, it's been 2 months, whether I actually specified it. There is a slight difference in one of your party members since coming through the portal into the Feywild and on the ship. Xenophilius is about a foot tall.
I thought it was thought it was smaller.
Up to
Yeah,
about a foot. Yeah, he's usually about 4 foot. He's very small now. Alright.
Cool.
Just in case that was not noted last time. I'm aware I am very prone to missing some details, so. Alright, what would you like to do as you gather yourselves in front of the gates?
I would like to just keep an eye out for other rabbit folk.
Okay.
Just to, on the off chance I see someone that I recognize. Not because I want to talk to them. I just want to be aware of my surroundings.
That's fine. You weren't there for any of the previous trips to the Feywild, were you? No. So this would be the first encounter you've had with Elamirka. So probably fairly quiet, keeping to yourself a bit. All right. So yeah, you're scanning around the place. You see quite a few, even without a perception check. You see quite a few very intriguing figures stood around. You see one that looks like it's made of mushrooms, probably a good 10 to 12 feet tall, with a large sort of wide-brimmed cap. Surrounded by several smaller sort of mushroom creatures of varying sizes. You see a group of what look like tabaxi at first glance, like Wildstorm, but their ears are more pointed, their whiskers more elongated. There's definitely something more fey about them than your regular tabaxi. All right. Kaylin, Xenophilius, what are you doing at this point?
So we just entering the party, basically.
The gates are still shut, so you're outside the gates, and there's possibly up to about 100 Fey, including your group, I suppose, that are gathering around this gate.
Kaylin's still very unsure of the whole thing, so we're sort of hanging a little bit behind Xenophilius. Has he got like an invite? I take it that he's the one.
We all have an invite.
The physical invite, I believe, was given back to you, Xenophilius? After Wildstorm read it?
But yeah, the invite is like for everyone.
Yeah, no, but like, sure.
Oh,
I
right.
guess is that your sort of ticket or your way of proving that you're invited? I don't have that, so I'm just tentatively hanging back.
All right. Go. Xenophilius, what are you doing? That's what I'm curious about.
Well, I mean, there's not really much he can do. He's just a bit bored of this all. He's waiting around. He's just on a boat. Yeah. This is very much busy work for him.
All right.
He was long thought the parties of high society were behind him.
And now he's forced back into one. Joy of joys.
Yeah.
All right. Probably about 5 or 10 minutes pass, just waiting and hanging about, before the knights themselves, with their spears, clang their spears together in a cross against the gate, just causing this ring out of sound. And there's a hush across everyone here. And you hear in a deep voice, "Gather single file. The party begins anew."
Guys.
And Fey now begin sort of contesting with each other, clambering to try and get their group ahead of everyone else, but obviously respecting a single file line as it sort of fills back. You get pushed as a group a little bit further back than you were from the gates, as different groups sort of shove in from the side. The big Myconid being the one in front of you.
Xenophilius will deliberately stand next to someone in defiance.
Oh, what, in the queue?
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
I don't want to be the first one in our party in line, but I don't want to be the last one either.
Okay.
I'm happy to go last.
Okay.
I'll go like second to last.
Well, Xenophilius has to kind of go first, so he's...
So we've got Xenophilius, Wildstorm, Vossa, Kaylin. Cool. Alright. Well, that is the correct answer, Dylan, because as the queue begins to file through, you can see as you approach the gate, the front person in each group seems to have been the main figure, the figurehead. They seem to hand their letter across to one of the knights and are given something in return. Small item, and they progress their group into the area beyond the gates. And as you approach...
Sorry, does Xenophilius know any of these people? Or they all...
Give me a history check with disadvantage, unfortunately.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. You think you might recognize a couple of these figures, but if you do, then it's so tenuous as to whether they are actually the figures you think they are. Yeah, there's people that look like powerful figures, archfey or other well-known creatures. You swear that the dryads remind you of those of the Oaken Court,
Right, yeah.
But other than that, it's difficult to tell.
Okay.
All right. As you reach the front of the line, Xenophilius, one of the knights holds a hand out to you.
And just slaps it like a cool guy. High five.
The hand stays perfectly still. It is unaffected by any of the slapping.
Love that.
Just one this one. Oh my god. Into it.
You went way too hard into it. I didn't understand a word.
I don't know how to do it anymore.
That's okay.
It'll be a slow
You'll
one.
get there. You'll get there.
Doesn't really matter what you just said.
Okay. What do you do then?
Well, he just sort of stares at him because he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh! He'll then just bring out the ticket reluctantly. Imagine that whole thing,
Yeah,
but in his voice.
in character, yeah.
Yeah.
As you hand out the letter to him, it grows to a more appropriate size for the knight, who sort of scans it over, nods, and the letter dissipates. In the as they flick their wrist, the letter dissipates, but in the return of it, there is what looks like a masquerade mask made of brambles.
Gonna really help with a fucking cat, rabbit, elf, and a fairy. Like,
Hands it to you. Just, yeah, in your direction.
Okay. I guess, wait, only one?
Only one.
Xenophilius snatches it then.
Okay.
And sort of plants it. Takes out his thingy, puts it under, slams it back on.
Okay. As the mask attaches, there's no elastic or anything like that to hold it in place, but it does lock in position. And as you do, a couple of the brambles break away. Small bits that drift towards the other members of the party and form less dense versions of this bramble masquerade mask. Alright. All of you now have an item that is incorporated with this mask, okay? Which is known as the lenses of the debutante. Okay? Functionally, as you put them on, or as they attach to you, you look around and you can start seeing illusory script above the heads of some of the creatures ahead of you and behind you in the line. Most notably, it seems to be the major figures of each group. Alright?
What does Xenophilius' script say?
Xenophilius's, I believe, would say... Sorry?
Weird little dude.
Weird little dude.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to say it says that, I believe this
Is everyone
says...
checking? They're actually coming up to look.
No one's looking currently, except the rest of your group. But it says Xenophilius, envoy of the Bramble Court.
Okay.
Do we have them, or is it just...
Yeah,
him?
you get this effect as well.
Does the Bramble Court mean anything to me?
Make me a history check with advantage.
Hell yeah. Ooh, this is my first roll in so long. Okay. Can I guide myself?
Not for this, because this is just an offhand thought.
No, that's fine. Public roll. Submit. Okay. Fine.
It rings a bell. A very faint bell. You know nothing. You don't know much about them. You thought, before seeing this, you thought they were a myth. But they They are the court that was theorized or mythologized to rule the Bramblewood.
Hmm.
All right.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the implications of this is.
Well, the invitation's disappeared now, so.
What general court would I have been under when I was like my, you know what I mean?
So, with that history check and what I know of your background, to our knowledge, you wouldn't have been. You wouldn't have been.
Okay.
Under, if that makes sense.
That's fine.
Your home was very much their own sort of secular bubble, as it were, outside of it. Yeah.
Cool. No, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you progress through, what I will do is I will give you a glimpse of the courtyard. Ooh. There we go. So, what I won't do is put in all of the Fey that are in this courtyard area. Alright? Because that would be ridiculous and would overload probably several of the devices we're using to play. But needless to say, there's quite a lot of Fey milling about in this courtyard area. Alright? So. Yeah, as you approach through, you can see now the groups ahead of you. The Myconid is all it says above the name. That's all you can make out of the mushroom leader that was ahead of you. It seems to be a word before it that you can't understand, which then is followed by Myconid. And they are... If I could remember the Fey Courts offhand, that would be great. Unsurprisingly, they are the leader of the Mushroom Court, the Archfey of the Mushroom Court.
Good.
Alright. But that is the only group that you get like within the 30 feet radius as you're entering. Okay? Now, are you staying together as a group, or are you splitting up?
I am not going to go off by myself. I will stay with. Well, I guess I'll see if other people split up and then decide who I'll go with.
Yeah. So I just turn it down a little bit on Discord. There we go. All right. And Kaylin, you're not going anywhere, are you?
No.
Ooh, sticking around. Okay. Xenophilius, then. Where do you try and head towards anyone in particular, or just mill about?
Mill about, I guess.
Mill about.
Go searching for a drink, I think, is the...
There are no drinks available.
But he'll go searching for one.
It's an empty courtyard. Okay.
He's found the fountain. He's used the fountains.
Oh no!
He's found a drink.
You're gonna drink from the fountains.
Is it just a fountain?
It looks to be.
What about the fruit in those trees? Can you have one of those?
You could easily fly up and grab one. Yeah.
Am I allowed to?
Good question.
I mean, no. I think walking up and having a drink from the fountains is the most in character.
Okay. So the others, I'm assuming, follow suit, not drinking, but following him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
No. Cool. Kaylin and Vossa, what are your passive perceptions?
This is the first time I'm using the app, so...
My passive perception is a 15.
15. I feel like it's either a 14 or 15 for you, Kaylin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're about the same.
Your perception. But what are you looking for?
Passive perception, which should be at the bottom of the skills list. If not, then it's 10 plus your perception.
Or is it just another list of skills?
Yeah.
So
10 plus your modifier for
Yeah.
perception.
Perception is 4.
So 14.
Yeah.
Cool. Vossa, you would be the first one to notice it. Kaelin, a swift second. Xenophilius, you go to drink the water. And a sort of pale, cold, and ever so lightly damp hand reaches out and stops you from reaching into the water. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Ooh.
Okay. I think Xenophilius will just kind of walk off in a huff, and he's clearly been beaten.
Kaelin and Vossa, you see the figure that stared at Xenophilius as they came out of the water up the drive. Full, like, black eyes, long black hair, just constantly dripping lady, in long flowing sort of sheer dress, who is looking off at Xenophilius as Xenophilius huffs away with almost a very, very look of contempt.
Contempt?
Your companion is rather rude, is he not?
He marches to the beat of his own drum, shall we say.
It's a good way of putting it.
It's a nice way of putting it.
I won't deny that's intriguing in its own right.
What's her vibe?
Give me an insight check.
She flirting? She into Xenophilius?
No. Probably into Caitlin. If she's into anyone. Or maybe she likes rabbits. I don't know.
But who would you rather? The 1 foot bearded dwarf or the elf?
Why has he only got 1 foot?
No, he's
Oh, that's so sad.
1 foot tall.
Okay, so an 11.
Mm.
The look on her expression as the sort of faint contempt fades is glassy. It's unreadable.
Mm.
And incredibly, sort of just still. And as you look up to see her name above, she sort of does a swift, playful bow towards you all, more towards Wildstorm than the other two of you, and says, "The Lorelei, to make your acquaintance."
A name or is that there?
And as you
Is
look
that
up,
the definite article?
it says Lorelei.
Oh, what did that script say?
It says Lorelei, Archfey of the Delta Court, I believe.
Oh, I have notes on them.
Yeah, Delta
Vossa
Court.
Your Vossa.
Yeah, I know. I'm wait. I'm explaining what I'm gonna do. Vossa
Sorry.
will.
To correct,
Oh.
the full title, as you read it, is Lorelei, Empress of the Streams, Archfey of the Delta Court.
Have I met them before?
You have never seen her before this in your life.
But I knew of her according to my notes.
You're aware of her, yes?
Yeah.
Vossa is going to do like a little curtsy thing, I guess, sort of matching her like tone. So kind of like serious, but like not. And do the rest of us have script?
You look at the others of your group. I don't believe so. Let me check the wording of the item. No. No, it is just the major players that seem to have script above their head.
Right, well, I'm first of all offended that Xenophilius is a major player and I'm not.
Vossa is going to say, you can call me Alma.
Alright. A pleasure, I'm sure.
What have you introduced yourself as, Vossa?
Not Vossa.
Yeah,
Alma is what she said.
Alma.
Arma.
Arma,
No.
sorry.
Arma.
Yeah. Sorry, my mistake.
No, that's okay. Alma is a name, so it doesn't make sense.
I was toying with also not revealing who I am.
Also,
to that end, yeah, I
just
suppose.
remember where we are. And just remember that the way that you word things is important. There's a reason I didn't say my name is this.
To that
You
end,
can call me this.
to that end, she has not asked you if she can have your name. So you are proffering this before any request of.
I'm from the Feywild. I know how this works.
Would she know who I am?
Actually, I'm going to make a roll for her. On that one.
By name, probably not by sight.
I'll say with that roll, she probably would recognise that you have more Fey in you than most elves, which would clue her into roughly where you might be from, but she hasn't got any specifics. You don't see any like obvious look of recognition in her eyes. And you also don't have any script above your head, as far as you can tell.
Give my name. Problem is, I can't just come up with a name on the fly because I suck at that. So I probably just
Rude.
no.
Really agile.
I'll offer up Kaylin. Why not?
Okay. Well met, Kaylin. And you? As she looks up and down Wildstorm very slowly.
She into cats?
You don't know?
I'm into cat.
Wildstorm just gives a deep bow and says, I'd rather keep mine to myself if that's alright.
Can you do it in a
now
West
I feel
Country accent?
stupid.
Sorry?
Can you do it in a
Now
West
I
Country
don't.
accent?
I'm not going to do it in a West Country accent. She just nods. Noted. You best be, well, keeping an eye on your dedicated envoy. He seems to have wandered off. I'll see you
We
later,
try
no
our
Where did he
doubt.
go?
She very slowly and methodically walks off. You look around and Xenophilius has huffed off.
Where is he? Can we find him?
Xenophilius, where have you gone and are you trying to hide?
No, he's just been a grump. He's just...
He's in a group. Okay. Fairly easy to spot, maybe about 20 feet away.
Yeah. We didn't want to be there.
It was your fucking idea to come to the party.
No, it wasn't. Have you not noticed that Xenophilius has been against us the entire time?
He's been forced to come here.
Pin.
No,
Problem solved.
no, because they were threatening me.
Guys, leave each
Bear
other
knew that I was
alone.
threatened. I think they said they'd. I can't remember, but didn't they say they'd kill me if I didn't
Oh,
go?
you've had a good run.
You're older than me.
Oh, I'm young.
You're still older than me.
I'm
Yeah.
120.
No, I'm 120. You're a bit. You're like in the 400s, aren't you?
Should say it in the bio section of the app, I think. But yes, the Lorelei wanders off.
I'm 130. And more. With the boxes, the 4 boxes, and character profile.
Oh, I went to buy it.
Age was my top one.
Oh, 175. Oh, okay. Membership.
There we go, Lil.
Alright. So, as the Lorelei leaves you be, and all of the Fae begin collecting in, like the last stragglers through the gates, you see a figure appear up on the... So the thing at the top of the screen is like a large stairway going up to a sort of central sort of turrety plinth in the centre there with the purple tiles, which is towering maybe about 10 feet above the rest of the area. And on there appears, literally from nowhere, with a flash of cloud and sparkle, is what looks like almost a jester to some degree, with bright flashy clothing in diamonds of different colours, but almost more like a fine suit version of a jester with no hat. Sort of fine white hair, elvenish features, who sort of looks around everyone and goes, out in Sylvan first, welcome. Then in Elvish, welcome. And then in Common, welcome. Think of it like cabaret, willkommen, bienvenue. Just through a couple of major languages. From that point, who speaks Sylvan?
I do.
I don't think I do.
I know I definitely
I
do.
believe I do.
Alright.
What does Selvik sound like?
What does
What does
I
it
would
sound
imagine.
like?
Sylvan in this world?
Yeah.
Oh, what did we say? I think Sylvan in this world sounds like is it Anglo-Saxon? I think
Sounds like what? Sorry.
Anglo-Saxon. So the language that Beowulf was written in.
All right.
I'm not going to do any of that because I don't know Anglo-Saxon, but just canonically, you've got this sort of proto-Celtic? No, not proto-Celtic. Anglo-Saxon is the other way. But that sort of tonal register. All right. So sorry, Vossa, do you speak Sylvan?
I do.
Cool. Sorry, it took a second for the sound to come through there. Cool. So
Yeah.
oh, connections a little slow by the looks. Okay.
Oh, that's a smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm having some issues.
Okay. That's all right. We'll bear that in mind as we go forward then.
Yeah, I mean, the other issue, my battery isn't charging, even though it's plugged in.
Oh, lovely.
So there's a chance,
It might drop.
and I'm on like 4%.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, it's plugged. Bug. That's really not helpful, babe. I guess we'll see.
Okay. I'll try and get through the intro to the party fairly quickly then. So, Xenophilius and Vossa, you would understand this fully. Kaelin, they just start speaking in a language you don't understand.
Oh.
I'm not sure whether Wildstorm understands or not, but I'm sure I can check later. So this figure, it says, "Welcome everyone to the Party of the Ages, the celebration to end all previous celebrations. For I'm sure there are some that are still going on. Welcome to the Court of Glamour, and to Yonissa's own personal courtyard to celebrate her 1000th year as Archfey of the Glamour Court. Please, if you will, take your places, take your positions, and feast." And as they sort of throw their hands forward, from the ground spout up stone and moss and plant, forming these sort of wrought iron design tables and chairs.
Kaelin is a bit surprised because she's not heard, or she's heard, but she's not understood. She's just, what the fuck is going on?
So you just hear babble, 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 tables and chairs.
Do the tables and chairs have name tags? Like a wedding?
They don't, in so much as name tags. What they do have is a centerpiece in the middle, obviously, centerpiece, that is different on every single table.
Okay.
Give me a perception check and just a straight intelligence check, Xenophilius, as you're looking around. Okay. Okay. You are so blinded by the fact that all of the tables and chairs come up. What?
I just have fucking no clue what's going on.
You have no clue what's going on.
Okay.
The rest of the Fey, obviously, they step out of the way as things start appearing, and obviously as do you. And they begin to make their way to the tables.
Who gets to sit on that tiny table? This one here.
You could, but before you get there...
but who does? Oh.
The same pixies that dashed past you before rush past and all take the seats.
Oh. Where are we? In the room.
You guys... There were 4 of you. I think they left spare seating just in case. Kaelin and Vossa, give me also perception and intelligence checks. Or just one investigation check. Oh, Kayla's perception's pretty good.
What was the other one? I've already forgotten.
Intelligence, just flat intelligence, so you'll need to click the stat for intelligence right at the top. Okay.
Alex, your face is says 1,000 words.
Does it?
Yeah.
Audrey, is Roll20 behaving?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that at all, so I have to assume there's
I didn't hear it either.
No, something's not doing.
something's not going right over there. All right.
Audrey, could you try your phone, maybe? Maybe that might... I think you did that last time and it worked quite well. Oh, VenturePoint Dungeons and Dragons are streaming.
Are they?
Yeah. Well, VenturePoint in Dungeons and Dragon.
Yeah. I don't think I've even got the Twitch app anymore to look. Oh no, there
Will
it
there
is.
be any artistic nudity in this stream?
Don't think so.
We're allowed to do that now.
Didn't they walk a lot of that back?
They did walk it back, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Tosca's bumhole was in it earlier. So.
Oh no!
That's
We're gonna...
artistic.
That's against
You're
TMS.
welcome, everybody.
Yeah, so roll
Hello.
20 is being very slow,
Okay.
but I'm on Discord on my phone now.
Hey.
That's okay. We've got you in. Amazingly, you stayed in the same place on Discord, which was a surprise. So I
Wonderful.
haven't had to change anything on my end.
We just have a screaming cat.
Yes.
Which I think's great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Which cat?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
About to have
that's
two
wild.
screaming cats.
She was supposed to be fed 22 minutes ago, so I'm surprised she's not
My
screaming.
apologies.
She'll live.
Yeah, she will. So,
okay. Right, my perception should be coming through in a second.
yep,
yeah. You got
14.
14, not bad, not bad.
Yep.
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Come on. Let's go.
Okay. It takes you a little while. Essentially until every other group that was present is at their tables, for you to finally figure out that one of the tables in the sort of far left, the one underneath the cherry blossom tree, has what looks like an artistic bramble made out of wood in the centerpiece.
Okay, let's go to the far left, as far left as we can go.
Everyone, including this figure on the plinth, is sort of looking down and watching you as you approach your seat.
Oh, just plodding along.
And as you take your places, the figure on the top says, "Now that we're all in place, let me introduce myself. I am Arlecchino. I am your maitre d', your showmaster for the evening. If you have any questions, come to me, and please, don't try and flirt with me until after the celebrations." There's like a murmured laugh across all of the Fey present.
I take it Kaylin still doesn't understand anything.
Nope, this is all still in Sylvan.
Oh dear.
Yep.
And would you just laugh anyway? Just
No, I think she just looked around.
Yep.
Xenophilius is getting. He's now more scrunchy than possible.
Because she's trying to read what other people's reactions are, but then Xenophilius is
Scrunchy yourself, yeah.
completely opposite. She's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, Xenophilius notices that Kaelin is just completely perplexed by everything, so he does offer to translate.
Yeah. I'm the same as this, but like I don't like not knowing.
Yeah, so
Like being on a plane and having all the announcements come through in a different language first, I'm always like, is it crashing? So I'm like, I always look at other passengers to be like, are we going to be panicked? Are we good? So that's essentially what Caitlin's doing.
yeah, so now from now on, everything that you say, Xenophilius is just whispering it.
What is he being though?
I mean, it's one of his native languages. Like we all know.
You're hard to understand when you're speaking in common, right? Just saying.
I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dylan, but in this moment, given how grumpy he is, Xenophilius would just be doing a straight translation, doesn't have the energy to do anything like that.
None of his bullshit.
And bearing in mind, we did also discuss that a lot of Xenophilius' bluster is a facade. As leaving the forest. So if he's in a grumpy mood.
Yeah. Alright. Now at this point you see the murmured laughter sort of fades. But Arlecchino looks out above the audience. And there's like a momentary shift in his tone and demeanour. And all of you suddenly feel a very faint chill. As through the gates, in a loose single file line, begin to flow odd creatures. Ones of mist, ones of spike and fire, ones of...
Ooh, how cool.
You see, in fact, a rolling mist surrounding one group that literally just seems to be a moving mist cloud with what looks like a... Your brain feels like it's playing tricks on you because this creature inside the mist, it's taking up. You can tell it's taking up most of the mist, but it is at once maybe the size of Wildstorm, and at the same time 1,000 feet tall.
Whoa!
Looking at it is just mind-boggling, and it settles to a table, and you see sort of shadow figures take places loosely at some of the seats. Alright.
Who's sitting on the big seats? This
on
table
the big
here.
Seats.
This table here. There's tiny seats and then there's big one.
That group is actually a collection of different types of Fey. And in the big seats, one of them at least, in the biggest seat, you can give me a history or a nature check. To see what this creature is.
History or nature?
Yes.
No, I'm asking.
Whichever you'd like to use.
They seem like very different topics.
They might be. They might not be.
I've lost connection to everyone.
So have I.
I can hear you still. Just the camera's frozen at the minute.
Things look so done. Get photo.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello. There we go.
It's Discord.
Discord might be having a funny 5 minutes. Okay. I think, just as an executive decision at this point, I'm going to go for a quick bio break, 5 minutes or so, and hopefully we can sort out these technical issues while that happens. So, I will see you in a few. There we go.
I think because there's gestures. Do it again.
Oh my word.
That's why it did that once.
I need to turn
I
that
was
off,
in-
don't I?
No, it's a Mac thing.
Oh, it's
or an
not
Apple
okay.
thing. It happened during a meeting.
Oh dear.
It's sad.
This is fun.
Do it. Is there a heart one? Oh.
Wow.
Or what's the weird like millennial? No, the Gen Z heart. That's horrible.
I got taught how to do it.
Well, it recognised it, so, you know, I'd say you got there. Anyway, in the interest of trying to...
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Are we actually back live now?
we are, yes.
You're welcome, everyone.
Oh, hello. We have
That's
everyone.
the part that you mean, isn't it?
That's like half a heart.
I can't. It's just not instinct to do that one. What's wrong with that?
Anyway. There we go.
Yeah, anyway. It's not recognising it on that one, so. Right. So. I believe we left this off with either a nature or a history check from Xenophilius.
Entirely, yeah, it was both of the same, have the same thing. So
Wow.
Hannah, you pick.
Yeah.
What were the options? Nature or
History.
nature? 'Cause I have a degree in that.
A 9.
I don't have a degree in natural history, really. Don't I?
You're not 100% sure, Xenophilius, what this being is. Oh my word, you rolled the same. Can't even try to cheat the system. All you know is that it's a large sort of humanoid-ish creature with thick grey, tough grey skin. Sort of, I want to say stubby hands and feet. A long protruding grey nose that seems to be prehensile, and large flappy grey ears.
They have prehensile nose.
Yes.
Is it a giant dog?
Fascinating.
No. Xenophilius thinks it might be.
Yeah, it's a big dog.
To us as players,
Prehensile noses.
this is an elephant person.
know what prehensile meant.
So like some monkeys have prehensile tails, which means it's like it functions as another limb. It's got that much control and like power.
Like monkeys have prehensile tails.
Yeah.
So they
And
use it to-
elephants
Yeah.
have prehensile noses.
We don't have dogs in Fleeting Law.
You don't have elephants either, so
I love the idea of Xenophilius turning across and being like, look at that dog with like
We don't have dogs in Fleeting Law.
you literally have no frame of reference. This is just a weird humanoid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the best you got. Weird grey-skinned humanoid.
Okay.
But it is big, and it is in the biggest of those chairs. But all of the rest of them seem to be different kinds of Fey of varying sizes. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. But yes, you see, as Vossa and Kaelin, you would certainly know this. Xenophilius, I think you would still know this, even though you would have been on the outskirts of this. The ones that you came in with, the Fey that you saw, the Dryads, the Nymphs, etc., they all seem to have been Seelie Fey.
Mm-hmm.
These that are joining now are the Unseelie. Ever so slightly delayed on arrival compared to the Seelie Fey. but still, nonetheless, showing up to a court-ordered event in various forms. Alright. Sort of gathering their nerve, Alakino sort of shapens up a little bit. It's like, well, now that we are all seated, I suppose we can get the food started. Shall we? Clicks her fingers, and all of the tables suddenly shimmer. There's a wave of sort of glitter that goes from table to table and reveals trays upon trays of food lining each table. And you're able to have a nice meal, should you eat.
Helen, do you eat?
Is it in general, or do I eat here?
In general. No, it here.
Because I do eat. But I'm going to hold back and just
check that it's not affecting anyone yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hold back a little bit. And no one seems to have any adverse effects from eating once they start. Alright.
Except for Xenophilius, who eats his food slightly too quickly, so chokes.
Makes himself sick.
But he
What
recovers
food is
quite
that?
quickly, it's fine. There's a moment, I feel like, where he would cause some alarm. Like, oh no, is it poisoned? But then no, he just, like, regurgitates like a what's they called?
Chicken bone or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not like an owl. Like there's been a bone stuck in his throat and he manages to get it out. Like Shrek.
Not like a dove, like a magician.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
He can't do that. Do you have the summon animals spell?
I have a summoning spell. I'm pretty sure. Alas, this is not the time to summon anything.
That, yeah. So, yeah, the meal is very nutritious, very nourishing as well, and ultimately, no harm to any of you. All right. As people start to sort of put their cutlery down and finish their what they choose to eat of the platters before them, Alakino appears again. This time, far more feminine than they appeared before. And she's like, "Is everyone done?" Perfect. In which case, the real games can begin.
Uh-oh.
Everyone, please enjoy yourselves at the tables. But those of you who represent someone,
No.
if I could ask you to step forward and have an audience with the lady.
Oh, are they the lady?
Do you call that out, or are you just trying to figure it out?
I'm just trying to figure it out.
No, this looks to be the exact same figure as before, but they seem to play with their gender a lot.
Yeah,
They flop between.
I was gonna ask that as well. Yeah, are they like in Sandman? They're not the devil. No, they weren't. Who was the evil sibling in Sandman?
I'm picturing that character from Gen V.
Oh, you're thinking of Oh
Spike?
my god. I know which one you mean. Desire?
I think it might be Desire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Sandman?
I have not. It's one that's on my list, I think, but I haven't seen it.
I think you mean Desire.
I think you're right.
Mm.
You're picturing, will they like properly switch?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Gen V, who's the character's name I cannot remember, but
I can't
literally
either.
switch
Yeah.
bodies.
They called like Sam or something.
Yeah, I can't tell you the character.
Again, not sure, but they do physically change in attributes.
Okay.
Between, yeah. All right. So, so if I could ask you all to come and greet the lady, give your introductions, shall we say, from your court. And as they say that, the tables that you were at and the chairs gently sort of sit you up and begin to pull back into the floor. And
I thought
in
they
their
were going to
place
take me.
comes various different areas of this courtyard. You see gambling tables along a long stretch in front of the plinth. You see a bar off to the right-hand side there. Two, in fact, by the looks. It's been a while since I made this map. A dance floor area and what looks like a theatre with arranged seating in front of it. But nonetheless, Xenophilius, you feel... Give me a wisdom saving throw. Okay. Xenophilius, you feel an overwhelming urge to go up onto the platform and enter the mansion. And you do see other Fey around the party, ones that perhaps don't look as strange or as powerful as some of the Archfey. You know, in groups that don't have Archfey with them, as far as you can tell, making their way towards the stairs.
These are the court people, aren't they?
These appear to be various courts that are envoys, and as one passes, you can see you don't catch the name in passing, but you do spot the word envoy of in part of the illusory script as they go past. So it seems to be only those who are envoys on behalf of Archfey that aren't attending that are being summoned.
Okay.
Alright. The rest of you, Xenophilius begins to drift off towards the stairs.
Guess I'll just sort of hang about.
With Xenophilius or in the...
Well, no, because he has to go. He's got to make an audience or whatever, doesn't he?
He does, yes.
So I don't think I would.
Okay.
I think I would just sort of stay around the table.
Alright. Well, your table has faded and you're sort of next to the theatre at the minute.
No, I'll just watch some theatre stuff.
Yeah, it looks like some Fae are sort of setting up for a performance, but there are empty seats that you could go sit in if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright, cool. Kaylin.
I've got a deck of marked cards. I want to try and swindle some money, but also I'm scared.
Okay.
It's really the right place. I mean, you can't hear me.
We find out, but it's okay. When else am I going to get to use these marked cards?
You'd be surprised. I'm
scared.
This is planned to be a fairly long campaign. There will be other opportunities.
What checks would I need?
Those will become clear to you if you try it.
I'm guessing I need like a sleight of hand. Let's have a look.
Give me a history check, Kaylin. 13. That's enough. So, as you're thinking through this, something pings in your mind, sort of subconsciously, of why am I trying to do this? The Glamour Court, their main export is gambling. So the Glamour Court are the Fey that are most involved in deals and tricks and underhanded techniques for gambling. You are in the lion's den in terms of card sharking and all of that.
So if I were to get caught, how negatively would they look on that if that is sort of...
You're not sure. That is not something you've heard definitive. With 13, that's not something you've heard definitive either way. You've heard rumours of people who've been applauded for their skill in avoiding the game, or using the rules to their own advantage, or slighting around them. There are also rules of people being permanently banished from the court for it. There are stories of people that have had, Fey that have never been heard from again for it. So it's somewhere between the two, perhaps.
If you get me killed...
area. I'm really tempted, but I only want to do it if my rolls are good. So can we
I can't make any promises.
do that? Oh.
That's the inherent risk of the game.
I'd either probably need stealth or sleight of hand, and I've got good. What do you think, Dylan?
I don't think you should do it.
I mean, you're probably not.
This is a very sort of uncomfortable situation we're in all. I also think it's a slightly bit out of character. You were very sort of like, ooh, you know what, I'm going to go gambling.
Aileen does like to... She likes money. She likes to take money from other people, whether through fair means or not.
I mean, it's up to you ultimately.
Wimp out. Just want it to be cool.
So you have a long, hard think about the marked cards you have, and then decide maybe best not. Save it for the mortal realm.
I think so. Not that anyone's asked Voss's opinion.
Well, Voss has gone to the theatre, so
What's the chessboard looking thing?
that's the dance
Looks
floor.
good. Bust some moves.
Throw some shade.
Yeah.
What I'd be in real life.
Yeah.
I've gambled twice in my life and I hated it. And was really stressed. So no, I'd be on the dance floor. Actually, would Kaylin? No. Maybe not.
All right. Wildstorm heads straight for the bar.
That's it.
Yep. He's not here. I'm piloting the character. Alcohol. Safest bet. So, Xenophilius then. You are led by this compulsion up the stairs and onto the plinth. You can see out across the gambling tables now and over the courtyard. And down, in fact, you can see the lake down at the bottom of the drive as well from here. Over the gates and the hedges. You can see things moving in the hedgerows as well, and the trees. There seem to be almost like giant dandelions, 10 to 15 feet tall, just clipping bits off here and there that appear to be the gardeners. And as you're brought inside the mansion, following on from several other fey creatures that are on their way as envoys, that is where we are going to call it for tonight, in the interest of making sure that everyone gets a good night's sleep and has time to prep for upcoming Christmas.
Upcoming Christmas? No, I still can't do it.
That was close. That was good.
Yeah, I need to. I'll practice.
The way that you said Christmas kind of sounded like you were announcing the commencement of Christmas, and when you said upcoming Christmas, I don't know if anyone heard, but Bug went. Oh. It was funny. It sounded like you were announcing it, and he was like,
"Oh, it's time."
Oh. Well, as time has gone on, Xenophilius' voice has slowly turned more and more into announcing.
Just grandstanding bluster, yeah.
I don't remember what it used to be.
You have to
go back and watch one of the old episodes.
Yes, it wasn't. It was never. Always talking like that. It's sort of.
It's like Choo Choo from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Yeah,
That's what you need to.
It's turning into Clayface from Harley Quinn. I know none of you probably watched that, but
again, I think on my list. It's on my radar.
I don't know about that. I'm a tree.
It's Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
There we go. That's it. That's my line. I think I need to go back to.
Cool. So we will pick up next time. Potentially next week if everyone's available. If not, then potentially in the new year.
27th.
I'm away.
That would be the 27th. So.
I don't know. I'm traveling back to Weston on that day. So it depends what time that's happening, and I don't know yet because Paul's driving me.
Probably
I
safer
can figure it out.
Probably safer to leave it till the new year then. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will figure out a date in the new year then to start back up. And we
the good news is I have a work laptop. So I may potentially be able to at least access Roll20 on there and just do Discord on my phone in future.
That'd be good.
Discord has a browser
I can't get
app.
my laptop sorted. Sorry, Dylan?
Discord has a browser app. You can use it entirely in browser. If you don't want to download
I just don't know if my organisation would have blocked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is the only thing. I'll have a play around. I'll see.
Cool. But yeah, we'll see that in the new year. We'll catch back up as Xenophilius goes in to make his audience with Yanissa, the Archfey of the Glamour Court. Kaylin goes and has a dance, apparently.
No, actually, no, thinking about it, that's not very her. She's probably just going to mill around, try and overhear things, hope that people are speaking in a language that she can understand, and just try and just gather information, just listen.
All right.
But I would be on the dance floor if it was.
Why use by generate? And then two of you.
Wow. Cool. So Kaylin's investigating. Xenophilius is giving audience. Vossa is watching the theatre. And Wildstorm is at the bar. So we'll see where people pick up from there next time. Thank you very much for watching. I know it's a much shorter one this time round, but yeah, scheduling is scheduling. So we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.